Hi, Team Connectors. I wanted to put a quick video together and just touch base with you. I also wanted to really pat each and every one of you on the back for the tremendous amount of work you've been doing. You guys have really grown as tech users, and some of you started out saying, oh, I just don't feel comfortable, and I want you to look back and see all the tools that you've been able to talk about with other educators, and some of them you've been able to participate with and experiment with. And for those of you who already had some experience with the Web 2.0 tools, I want to thank you all for the great collaboration that you've been showing to each and every one of your group members. We're really fortunate to have each of you in our group as well, and I know I've been gleaning as much as I can from everybody. But today I decided to open up all the tabs from the tools we've been talking about, and I used to wonder who had all these tabs open at the top of their computer, and I realized I've turned into one of those people. I don't know when that happened because I used to certainly feel like I didn't know anything about technology as well. But now I'm extremely excited to take all of these shares back into the classroom and implement them in my classroom and make more effective, exciting classroom for my students. So I want to welcome you to week 4. And this week we are going to be talking about teaching information literacy and digital citizenship. And I did challenge you guys to go find out what netiquette meant. And I'm looking forward to the first student who answers that one. Go ahead and Google it, see what you come up with. Tell me what you think it is. And let's see. Let's go over our list. Let's see. Okay, well, we have talked about Symbaloo. And if you haven't seen Tia's Symbaloo, you need to go see it. It's on our website. It's great. Um, we have talked about Remind 101. We have talked about TeacherTube and SchoolTube. And thank you, Eric, for this share. We've talked about Edmodo. We've talked about LiveBinders. I know several of you have mentioned LiveBinders. We've talked about Weebly, and if you've not seen Marissa's Weebly page, go and check it out. It's awesome. We have talked about Storybird. Yeah, that's what this one is, Storybird, and Moodle. And we have talked about Kahoot, and yay, thank you, Kyle. We have talked about the 3 tech ninjas, and this came from Tia's professional development that she got to go to, and we are so appreciative you shared this. I know a lot of teachers who didn't get to go, and they have this share, and they thank you too. We have talked about using our Gmail. We have talked about Google Plus and all the things that Google Plus can do. For example, the communities that we're in. You can make these private for your student. We have used Hangouts. And if you haven't played with photos in Google Plus, you need to go do that. That's awesome. We have talked about Facebook. We have talked about, where is it? Can't believe I left this one off. Oh, goodness. Okay, sorry guys. We have talked about, over to Meg's page, because I'm lazy. We've talked about Twitter a lot. And I know that each and every one of us have written down Naomi's method of exit tickets in her Twitter feed, and we're all excited to use this one. We have talked about, well, you all started in Blackboard. Actually, we all started in Blackboard, and now Blackboard seems like just the easiest place to come and find the lessons, and we're all very comfortable in it. And I know that they're definitely collaborative tools over here. We haven't used those as much in this class, and some of you may have already had the opportunity to, but those things do exist. This is our LMS. We have talked about SoftChalk. I know that a lot of you have fallen in love with SoftChalk. We've talked about Google Drives, and if you're going to use Google Drive, make sure you do have file management, because this can be a nightmare if you do what Meg did. Don't do what Meg did. We've talked about weekly reflections. We have done key points, and you guys have been awesome at responding with one another. We have talked about Scholastic. Now, this is one of the shares that we got from Kyle, and honestly, this is an enormous amount of information. I have not had the time to go through each and every one of them, but I'm looking forward to using these and experimenting with all of these. And if Kyle shared this in a key point document, maybe he'll share it with the entire group in the community. This one's great. We have talked about YouTube, our YouTube pages, and remember the very first week you all started with a Leno board and posting it, and I've seen all your pictures and your great post, and we did a good job there. We've talked about Prezi. We've talked about Jing, and I'm doing this one on Snagit because it's going to be easiest for me to put it on YouTube. Quizlet came up last week. I heard that one, and I know that this is. I've used Quizlet as well. I mentioned Nearpod. I'm always promoting Nearpod. This is extremely easy to add your PowerPoint presentations you already have. And actually, the first time I saw it, I thought, I don't really care for it. Now I love it. We've talked about Scoop It. This is one of our latest tips, and I haven't gotten a chance to play with this one. That's why it's open. So I'm going to go play with it this afternoon. We've talked about Storify. I sent you all doodles in the second week to participate in our Zoom. And finally, we come back to our Google Plus, which takes us to our regular Google page. Whew, we're always encouraging people to go out and do web searches and improve our student web searches. I want to take a second to point out in the Google Plus and in the regular Google page, the 9 dots that are right here. Some of you may have recognized this already, and some of you may not have noticed this. But up here, if you click down, all these apps in Google open up. You can find your Drive, your Gmail, your Google Plus page, your search, YouTube, calendar. And of course, if you click down here, all of these things there's just more and more and more and more apps. This is true also in Google Drive. If you click on Create, Connect to More Apps, this opens up. And of course, there are some that cost that are for a fee, but a lot of these are just free. Things like Powtoons we haven't talked about, but here's another opportunity to find even more tools. It is the fire hydrant spraying and us trying to get a drink of water. But you guys have done an excellent job, and I'm so honored to have been your all's lead, and I'm looking forward to our last 2 weeks and all the great shares. I will encourage you to make sure you share early and often, and on your key points, make sure you post to each and every team member so that they have an opportunity to learn from you. And so, other than that, I hope you have a great 4th week, and I look forward to seeing all your excellent work.